Alright, let's move on to the next software. From Writer, we're going to look at Calc. So first off, with Calc, which is a spreadsheet software, we do not have any templates. So if you check out the templates and try to filter spreadsheets, we have no templates. That's totally fine, not a problem. We can also open Excel files that have been attached or sent or downloaded by us from online, but we will go ahead and just create a brand new spreadsheet. So I'll go ahead and click on that and we'll wait for it to load up. There you go. So it looks very similar to Google Sheets as well as Microsoft Excel. We have the name at the top left. We have the close button at the top right. We have only that file open. So if we open the window, you see just that. Let's start by saving it first in the right format because I was unable to demonstrate that earlier. So when you click on Save As, it pops up a new window. This is where you get to see the different file types. You can save it as open document format, spreadsheet in this case, or Excel 2007 to 365, and so on and so forth. You can also save it as a CSV, a comma separated value, or an XML spreadsheet. You can include macros if you need, and so on and so forth. So it will be simple and straightforward and use Excel in this case. So let's call this sample spreadsheet, and that should be good. It gets saved in this location, that's totally fine. Or we can put it on the desktop and save. Again, it's going to pop up notification. Are you sure you want to save it in Excel and not open document format? Yep, it is saved correctly. Just like every other spreadsheet, you have sheets within your workbook. You can add more sheets. Each sheet has columns and rows. The good thing with LibreOffice Calc is that when you click on this row, it tells you it's selected from A1 to, that's A12, to XFD12. That's how many rows we have. So the same as if you select G, it tells you there are 1,048,000 cells, or should I say rows. So that's a quick thing you can use if you need to count how many records you have to include. So like I said, very similar to what we've been looking at. Once again, you have your sidebar, which you can use to navigate as you need. But I am going to take a look at functions in this case because we looked at a lot of input stuff, the basic stuff we already looked at in Excel and Microsoft or rather Google Sheets. So I copied some data. I'm going to paste it in here and change the size of or the width of the columns. Maybe I should open this wider. There you go. If we need to increase the font size, we can go ahead. I'll select all of that, change the font size to be bigger. There you go. Hopefully you can see better. You can expand this more and even more. Once it's expanded, clicking on the top right selects every single cell, and you can double click on each of those lines to make sure that it's appropriately sized, the height in this case or the width in this case. So let's see if that works. Nope, it doesn't, because I have that with word wrap, which I don't need. So let's expand this a little more. Excellent. Now I'm going to add a bold on here for the heading, and let's go ahead and start with a date. We need to enter today's date in here. What we need to do is we can enter it from using a function. Right here you see the functions. Those are the sum functions. Let's go into the function wizard and select, instead of the all category, we're going to choose date time. And here you have the date categories. Scrolling down, you can find today function. It tells us today's function. You have to type in today. It determines the current date and time of your computer. So in the formula, I can go ahead and type today, and it gives me the result. That looks accurate. I can go ahead and click OK. You can see that formula is in here in the bar, and the result is showing up in the cell. We can go ahead and add another formula. Let's go to the formula bar and type equal to. Every formula starts with an equal to sign. Select this cell. We want that cell to be one of the operands, and we need to add 1 to the cell so that it becomes the next day. Once we've entered that, you can press enter or click on the checkbox to accept the query, or not the query, the function. And just like that, we have October 10th and October 11th. We can go ahead and change the display, the way we want our data to be displayed. Data formatting. Let's say we want what format we want. We can go ahead and change the date format. Now you see it's showing numbers. That's not what we wanted. We can go ahead again and change the number format to date, and now it looks better, right? This formula again, we can copy that all the way down, paste it, or just select a bunch of them and paste. Everything is updated. For the sum, we can go ahead and type in total length of all those videos. Again, I like to set this to the right alignment. In here, I can simply click on this drop down, and it tells me, hey, there's a sum option right there. I need a sum. It automatically sees that there are a bunch of numbers on top of it. Is that what I want? Yes, but I don't need that very last selection, so I'm going to drag it up so it ends with 15. And this is the formula input, and looks like we have 31 minutes total for series 1 of our 100 days IT. Now, one other thing I wanted us to look at is how we can use cell references, absolute references, or relative references. So in this case, I'm going to come ahead here and say I need to get a percentage length. So there's 31 minutes total use. How many percent is 1.5 of 31? Very simply, you can use an equal sign. Get this cell, which is F6 divided by F17, and press enter. It gives us not very useful for us because it's giving us by 1. So it's 0.04 out of 1 because we didn't multiply by 100, but that's totally fine. All we need to do is click on this icon to change it to percentage. If we click on that, now it's about 5%, which is correct. We can copy that and paste it for the next one. Let's see if that works. So I'm going to right click, copy, go ahead and paste. Oops, doesn't look like it works for us. Why is that? Because this formula is incorrect. So let's try it again. I'm going to go ahead and undo what we did. Go back here, copy that, it's copied, and let's paste it again. Now it doesn't work. Why is that? If you look at the top formula bar, it's dividing F7 by F18. F7 is right here, that's totally fine, but F18 is down there because we used relative or rather than absolute references, because when you copy down, it's going to shift one space down and use this, and one space down and use a different total. So that's not going to work for us. What we need to do then is undo that. Instead of referencing F17 as a relative reference, we need to make it absolute, so it never changes. All of these could change, but 31 should not change. In order for us to do that, we need to add dollar signs in front of the column and the row. So instead of F, we have $F and $17. That makes it an absolute reference. So if I copy that formula from any location to any location, it should work just fine. So copying it from here and pasting here looks like it's totally fine, because now you see it's still pointing to F17 and F15, which is right there. So our formula should work for all of them. That is how you will use absolute and relative references. To double check that our totals are correct, we can go ahead again, select everything. At the bottom right, you can see the sum is displayed is 100%. That is correct. The average obviously is going to be 10% because of 10 values that are entered. Or you can simply use another sum down here to sum the total. But I want to make sure I sum just that, and enter looks just good. So that's absolute and relative references for you. Everything else very similar to what we've been looking at. If you need to save the file, once again, you go ahead and click on save. Everything should be good to go. Awesome. Now let's close this and go back to the home page. You see our sample spreadsheet is out there available for us. All right.